Hi, everyone. It's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We're grateful to have you. We're thankful to have you with us. We are over 440 episodes total. So it's uh, what I would actually call a miracle that we're here, that we made it this far. And it's only because of your help, your demand of wanting more content to watch, to listen. We're grateful to have you with us. Help us get to reach 3,000 cities and 300 countries worldwide. We're well over 100 countries, well over 1,000 cities. We just broke a goal for the last year, uh, download wise. So it's just incredible. We're knocking out goals with a basically a $0 budget, and we have that big, huge, monumental goal of helping reach uh, at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And we we're going to do it. I know we are, and it's incredible to have seen the growth from the beginning of our endeavor uh, endeavor together here with Voices for Voices, and then here with our Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. If you can do us a big favor, give us the big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, all those great things. They're easy to do. We would greatly appreciate it. And if you would do us another huge favor, is to reach out to 25 of your contacts, 50, 75, 100 contacts. Let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. It's because of you again that we're at this point, and that would be awesome if you could do that. We know that a lot of you have already, so we want to say thank you because we are seeing it in the analytics, in the numbers. There's some analytics, some numbers we don't see because of different reasons, private servers, all kind of different things that don't let us see the full analytics. And that's okay. But we know we're helping people. You know we're helping people. And that's all that matters. So thank you. And if you are able to, we are Voices for Voices. We are a 501c3 nonprofit charity organization. And so what that means here in the United States is all donations, all book purchases under Voices for Voices moniker are 100% tax deductible on the federal level, and it's tax time. If you haven't done your taxes yet, it'd be a great way to pad your return by helping us out and helping yourself out. So again, thank you for joining us. It's time to live again. There's probably a song or maybe several songs titled that. That's not why we're talking about it's time to live again. Uh, we're talking about it in the way the Voices for Voices talks about it and things. Uh, and that is on the very human level of when we say it's time to live again. The reason we say this and the reason why we're going to dedicate a show today, this episode, to talk about it is for far too long have so many of us, and I'm included, uh, not been living. We've been, whether it's procrastinating, whether it is just just not feeling the best. And that's what weather, I say bad weather, but and the skies are dreary. There are lots of clouds. It's snowing and raining and all that. It can cause us, as we know, the seasonal affective disorder, which I get every year on top of every all the other things that I have with being diagnosed with. And I'm okay with that because I have a team behind me that's with me every step of this way. And I hope and pray and send good vibes that if you need a team behind you, that you're able to find that one by one. Don't look at the whole situation as, oh my gosh, I got to do all these things. Do one thing at a time. That's the only way we get things done, at least for me. And so that's what I would say um, to someone who looks at, oh my gosh, I have to go see a psychiatrist. I have to go see a therapist. I have to look. We only get one shot at this life, uh, and that's part of the reason why I did what I did in 2017. And maybe that's something that you want to explore doing. I can't make decisions for you. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing my experience. And so living again means doing what we love, doing what we want to do. Uh, for me, Voices for Voices is really to use voices as many times as I can. Uh, Voices for Voices is really helping and has helped give me a voice back that I had, but it was all in my head. It was all in my head. I wasn't talking about things. I wasn't. Uh, yeah, I mean that's a big thing is just talking through it, and I wasn't doing that, and so I really wasn't living. Yes, I was alive. My heart was beating. My brain was. I, I'm not talking like that. What I'm talking about is what what you do on a daily basis. Is it what you want to do? For the most part, not everything is up to us. But if you have a couple of things you want to work on or do in a particular week, are you able to work on maybe one of those for a little bit of time? Or are you not? If you're not able to, that's what we're talking about living again. That let's get back, if we can, to living again, to work on and do things that make us feel good. Uh, I am by no stretch, nobody is perfect, and I am by no stretch perfect in saying, "Oh, Justin's doing all these things." Uh, I'm trying. I'm working on things, just like you are, just like everybody is. I think we're constantly learning. We're constantly working on things, not just for others, but for ourselves. So learning to live again and to live again, we want that to be for us. Because if we're not able to do things for us that make us feel good, then it's a hard life. If we're doing what somebody else and others want us to do, then we're not living again. We're not living for us. We're living for somebody else, somebody else's goals, somebody else's projects. And while that is not a negative all the time, it can be, and it can hold us back. We can get caught up in our heads where I've been so many times and still am so many times that things, ideas, they just hang out up in my head. They don't come to fruition, which basically just means they don't come true. But let's make them come true. Let's help them come true. If we're not feeling the greatest, that's okay. Let's, if our body is telling us we need rest, then let's rest. And then let's try small itty bitty step at a time. Don't have to do big things, big steps at a time. We just do as best as we can. That's all we can be, is the best as we can. And if the best we can that we're doing is what we want to do, what makes us feel good, then that's what I'm talking about is let's learn to live again. Let's again for me, I know some of you are like, "Oh yeah, that's easy for you to say. Look at your organization, look at the goals and look at the things that you're doing." Let me tell you that this thing right here, Voices for Voices, is a godsend. I didn't know it was gonna happen. It came to me one day as an idea, and then for some reason I just kept doing it and kept finding different ways. We've had a Voices for Voices walk before. We've had 2 annual events. We've taken the last couple of years off. There's been a lot of movement on a lot of different um, areas. And so every year it's a little bit different. I like consistency, but it's not what I want. It's what, for me as a believer, it's what God wants. It's what Jesus wants for me. And so one year we may have an event and a walk, or another year, or we may have none of those. And we just maybe working on our shows, our content for things to click and to come into perspective and to come together. And that's okay. I've had to accept that myself for that very reason, this very reason. As you know, Voices for Voices started as an event, a once a year event before we started with the show. And so we had a couple of years of events, and for one reason or another, we haven't had an annual event. There's been years where we've had awards that we've given out, and there's been years we haven't. It doesn't matter to me. Again, I would like consistency, but as I sit here talking to you, as you're watching, as you're listening, that should be a little bit of a moment to look at and go, oh, wow. The one consistency is the show, what you're watching, what you're listening to. So we do have consistency, not on every single thing, on every single level, but we do have consistency on the show. We've had times where the the cadence, which is basically fancy for saying, the amount of shows we have a week, was one. And so we were doing 52 or so shows a year. And now, by the grace of God, many times, many weeks, we're doing more than one show a week. And so something clicked somewhere along the way. There's been things that have been taken away from us, and we've learned to adapt. And I think that, for me, adapting, we talked about this before, but not at this level. For me, adapting is so important. And I think one of the things that I don't always do well, I think I do okay at adapting when given situations, and when things happen, then we have to make decisions. I mean, we could have halted the show about halfway through 2025. We could have. There's things and topics and events and things that happen, and we could have just shut it down and said, "Oh well, this was great." I don't even know what number we were on for shows, but it doesn't matter. What matters is we kept going. We found a way, as inexpensive as can be, and yet we continued on. We could have taken no for an answer. We could have taken stop. We could have taken don't do it. All I know is how to be myself and how to be human. And there's flaws in all of that. There's so many flaws of me just being human and being myself. But I've learned, and I'm still learning, how to live again. It's really remarkable as I take a step back of yet another accomplishment of that other kind of medium-sized goal that we just hit. And at over 440 episodes of our show. And so I look at that as positivity, of growth, of helping, and just living. So many times seems so hard. Seems so hard. So hard to get out of bed, so hard to brush our teeth, so hard to take a shower, so hard to do what a lot of us would say is, oh, that's an easy task to do. But for some of us and for some of our days, it is hard to do. So we don't do them, or we do half of them. And I'm not expecting and asking every single person to think in terms of me. Just think in terms of yourself. Are there days and times where you just have to take a step back? You just have to stop for a minute or two or a day or two. I know have and am continuing to work on myself, how I can be a better self, about a better person. And I'll tell you what, there's not a whole lot that changes. Um, I'd like to think of when, let's say if we're ever able to go on vacation for any amount of time, whether it's a day, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, and we got to have our phones next to us. Been there, done that. Have to do this, have to do that. Can't have a break in the action of, well, I need to try to find a way to do a show on vacation. And then it doesn't seem like a vacation then. And I've been there, done that. And so there's something that what I'm working on and I'm continuing to work on is it's okay to take a day. The world's going to continue. The earth is going to continue rotating. Still going to have 440 plus shows. So to take a day or two or three or seven, it's okay. We're living again. We're not just consumed by one thing or two things or three or four or five. I have been. It feels good when I continue when I'm on vacation, but my body needs rest. Not just, well, yes, in the evening. I haven't been prioritizing my sleep and my sleep hygiene for years. It's one of the big things I'm working on now. And so if I'm just throwing numbers out, I don't, uh, I've stopped keeping track after the 52, the one episode every week situation when we were just doing one episode a week. I I just work on episodes as they come. And more times than not, that's at least that's our ice machine, if you heard it sound. Uh, we at least have one show a week that comes out that we drop. And so when I pass on from this earth, God's not going to look at me and say, "Oh, you did 400 and whatever amount of shows." It's not going to be that at all. It's going to be about how I was and am a person? Did I help my fellow human when I had the opportunity and the ways and the means? Were you constantly learning in ways that would help others? And so for me, that's what I'm focusing on. For you, it may be something similar, or maybe something totally different. And there's not a problem with any of those at all. So as we all just learn to live again, maybe you've been blessed and you haven't had a rough patch. You can hear birds too as well, so you also know that maybe springtime is on its way. And part of the reason I did this show specifically about learning to live again is just that, because of the birds, because of the blue sky, because of the sunshine that has been gone for so long. Each year we don't have sunshine every day of the year. So the weather is kind of like a renewal of ourselves. And that's part of why I wanted to do this particular show on this particular topic, or these topics. Because if we're alive now and we've made it through, depending where we live, but maybe where we live, it's sunny and 70 degrees every day. And I'm a little envious of that, a little jealous of that. Where we live, we go through all the seasons. In ourselves, we go through all seasons. Some are easier, some are tougher. So let yourself live. Let yourself love. Let yourself work on goals, set goals, easy goals, hard goals. And not all of them. You don't have to write down every single goal. Some of them can be uh, small goals where we don't have to write them down. But whatever goal, whatever thing, whatever experience, whatever event you want to take part in, that you want to host, that you want to work on, do it. You can do it. Let me be a testament. You go through all our catalog of episodes. I talk about myself, my diagnoses. I talk about hot topics, talk about pop culture, talk about easy topics, we talk about hard topics. That's probably what makes us one of the top shows, and that we are continuing and have continued to put content out for the world. Thank you so much. We're grateful, we're thankful to have you with us again. If you can give us big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, they're free for you to do. and it helps us reach more people. Help us reach 300 countries, territories, provinces. Help us reach 3,000 cities across the world. Help us help at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. And if you can reach out the 25, 50, 100 of contacts in your phone on social media after you follow Voices for Voices, of course, if you can reach out to those 25, 50, 75, 100 contacts through text, uh, group chat, on social media, we'd be very grateful for you to let them know about Voices for Voices and how raw and authentic and transparent we are. And we want to help people. We have helped people, and there's been times where one of those people is right here, is myself. So we love you. Thank you for your love and support. We're sending good vibes your way, whether you're a believer or not. And until next time, let's celebrate all the voices in the world and let us be a voice for not only ourselves, but somebody else that needs their voice heard one way or another. Take care. Bye for now.